45 set, episode 21. Meat Sweats. Go.
Yo, what up? Now we go. Big Uncle Zach. J.M. Holland.
Shamik got busted in his head, dude.
Mike Powerbox.
Hey. Hi.
Yo, welcome to my hood. Remember that song? I got my old iPod out, so.
Welcome to my hood.
I got my hands, I'm on the deck, and I don't. You know what I mean?
Is that bands to make them dance?
T-Pain.
DJ Khaled, T-Pain. T-Pain is in a really funny thing called It Was About, which I'm sure is not going down anymore. It was called Freaknik in Atlanta. Huge party. You know, it's pretty cool. It was called,
I gotta take the bike down to Freaknik.
Yeah, dude.
I gotta take the bike down there.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I'll just drive the tank down to Freaknik.
Get like a
you know
cool.
What I mean?
You can even get one of those, like, I've been seeing a lot of three-wheelers out.
Yeah.
A lot of people driving like the
Yeah.
three-wheeler, like they almost look like
What are they?
like sleds. They almost look like bodies
Yeah.
with wheels. But guys are out there driving
Like,
all kinds of
What
gnarly
the fuck
shit.
are those called?
A couple months ago, I was eating at Brewworks, and me and Kat were sitting there, and I saw one of those come flying around. Some dude.
The slingshot?
He was blasting "Born in the USA."
Yes.
I was.
It's never a happy medium. It's either that or extreme like trap music coming out of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, where
It's
do you get the
never. It's never.
Spanish guy?
Yeah.
You get the Spanish guy allowed?
Yeah. Well, I seen the one Spanish guy that goes around. He's got the big motorcycle, the big cruiser one with the back with the Puerto Rican flags, and he's just cruising around Southside.
My dad drives a '94 Thunderbird. That's like, it's a beast. It's a beast. And he put like there's like 2 amps in it with like the subs and shit. It's ridiculously loud. Like
There's
it's gonna give
subs?
you hearing oh yeah, no, it's bad. Like
Nice.
he was like taking me to Advanced Auto Parts, and we were like, he was just blasting Tool in the parking lot. I'm like, do you really need like the entire Union Boulevard can hear this car, and it's loud. It's a fucking fast car as shit. It's
Did you guys mess with subs in high school and stuff?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Did they get stolen?
No, mine didn't. I got rep out here, dude.
yeah. Mine
Touch my
never,
shit.
mine never got stolen, but I know some people that know some people.
Yeah, my buddy
That,
got jacked in high school.
Yeah, so people were so brazen back in the day, and there was no cameras yet that they would
Yeah,
just
it was during the day he did it.
fucking bust it. Yeah, they would just be like, "Oh, there's no one in the parking lot. I'll just bust this window, and then
Yeah.
I'll take your whole CD collection," which is like, you know, people would have books of CDs.
Yeah.
That's why immediately once burning started, I kept all the originals at home, because if someone beat my car, you know, book of CDs, I didn't lose everything. Because if you got your CDs beat, you lost all your music.
That was way better way of music.
Except for when it
Funkier,
would
but-
scratch
What?
or you hit a bump.
Well, so I had a
Bump.
Ford Escort, but you would
Hell yeah.
I had the thing that went into the tape and connected to the Discman. And it
Yeah.
wasn't anti-skip yet, so if you hit a bump, it for sure.
Yeah. I crashed my
know
car
what?
changing a CD.
I think
was
a
also
lot of-
drunk.
Yeah, I think
I was after softball practice.
a lot of people have, but yeah, I mean, I used to have a Mazda MX-3 too,
Ooh,
stick shift.
yeah.
that shit was a beast. I
You
got
rip
that shit
around
for
in
like
that?
There's
$4
just something
grand.
about like you got the thing and you put the CD on, stick it into the head unit, it's all like lit up and shit, and then it's like.
I liked
waiting
getting the
for song
CD
to drop,
too.
And you know
Yeah.
which number the CD is, and it just fucking.
Yeah, it was cool when I got. That was like the first cool. I had like that Escort, then I had that Hyundai Accent, and then I might have even not had a car for a while and like borrowed
Yeah,
someone's
that Honda
for a while.
was a hoopty for sure. That
Hyundai
was,
Accent.
it had the fat ass, right? It had like the weird ass.
Yeah. That thing sucked, and I beat the piss out of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that car.
And then after that, though, I got that. I needed a car, and I saved up a couple grand. And I bought that Mazda, and it was cool because it was my first. Or no, it was it was my second stick shift car, and the other car was automatic, I think. Finally got another stick shift, and it had rims on it already, and like the windows were already tinted.
Nice.
But then the muffler was rusted out, so I took it over to my boy, Atomic Audio, back in the day. Used to be in Bethlehem, and they did.
by the Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah, I don't know what. It's not there
a
anymore.
rim shop
Obviously,
now, I think.
now it's rims. Yeah, I used to be Atomic Audio. It was one of the coolest places. Like somehow when I worked at the car wash, I worked at Andretti Car Wash over off 191, and I got the job because I was one of the only kids who knew how to drive stick. So I got the job of when the car came through, I would jump in the car quick and then just put it in first and pull it out into the lot, you know, and then put it in neutral and pull the e-brake, turn the car off. Other kids didn't know how to do that. So I started working there after everybody, and then people were furious at me because I got that job because they had to jump in and like do the windows and like dog hair all over the
Hey,
car.
you know how to
and
do
they're like,
stuff.
Yeah, I'm like, I know how to drive stick, bitch. I remember people used to always bust my balls. Like, how do you get to do that? I'm like, because I know how to drive stick.
Do you want to drive the car?
I'm like, go ahead. Yeah, a couple times, even to like friends of mine that I went to high school with. I'm like, all right, fine, go ahead, pull this one out then. And they're like, oh. I'm like, yeah, that's what I
Just
thought,
bucking.
motherfucker. Get out of my way. You know what I mean?
I drive stick, bitch.
My dad taught me. You know, he gave me the thing like, hey, if you can, because when I first got the car, I got my license right away. Because now, don't you have to wait like 6 months in between? That's a rule, right?
They changed a bunch of stuff. I know that.
I don't even know, but a lot of kids have to wait. And I thought you can get your permit, but then when you turn 16, you need 6 months of, you need 6 months of, you know.
Right, you get a permit and then you get a junior license. Mm-hmm. And then your hello. And then your junior license is like you can't be outside, you can't be driving after 11.
No, but even before you get your license, your permit in between that. Oh, then you get a junior license.
You get a permit,
okay.
and then you get your junior license, and you get your full
I
license.
saw a kid driving
right.
through town
I didn't even know about that ever.
last week, and they had the windows down, and he had to wear a mask. I'm like, what the fuck, man? How much more would that? They was wearing a mask inside the car with the teacher, learning how to drive.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, they're gonna make them.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just like, how nerve wracking was it to drive? I remember just even going with my dad, it was scary.
Oh,
but
yeah.
then now you can't fucking breathe. You got a mask on and fucking.
Yeah, but you know what? I failed the permit test the first
So did
time.
I.
Yeah.
The mask is like foreplay for when they actually have an alien in your mouth. Like,
Yeah.
like the guy from Alien, like fucking your mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing was weird. But then I passed the driving test the first time. So I failed the permit test 'cause I didn't study at all. But then when I went to the driving test, I passed that. And the guy that was the driving instructor was like, you know, he was totally not into it. It was like the last one of the day.
Yeah.
And my dad was like, you know, I hope you know what you're doing. Like, we barely practice. Or like, because me and him would get into a fight every time we would
Yep.
go driving because he'd be screaming at me, like, you know what the fuck you're doing. And then, so I'm like, dude, I know how to drive. Little did he know that, like, my friends let me drive their cars a couple of times. And shout out to my friend Kate Sanger back in the day, who was kind of crazy. And she used to have big parties all the time. And she used to just let me drive her car. She would just be like, hey, you want to, I'd be like, hey, can I take your car over to, you know, and her car was stick shift. And I was like 15. I'd be like, hey, can I take your car up to 7-Eleven? She'd be like, yeah, sure, whatever. I'm like, sweet, pack it in with 4 kids and be like, I don't have a license.
So much fun.
But it was just around the town, so
Yeah.
no one, you know, you're taking a risk, but it's not like it was today. There wasn't any many cars in the parking lot. But when I got in the driver's test, I like barely pulled into the spot. And he was like, you're good, keep it going. And I was like, oh shit, I'm going to pass this. But I barely practiced with him. But even Big Steve would let me, because a lot of kids were older than me. So even him would take me up to the parking lot and we would we'd be bored like during the day on like a Saturday. And I would just practice parallel parking, you know, with no license. But I never got caught by the cops or anything like that. Like, even if they would have stopped us, we would have been like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah.
Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, you don't have a license.
Wait,
nowadays.
you're going to throw a 15-year-old in jail?
Yeah,
Maybe now.
Yeah, nowadays
No,
you're going to jail.
definitely.
Now you're going to jail.
Oh, yeah.
Get fired.
Throw him in jail.
You know, I was talking to
Lose your career.
I was talking to my buddy Bill, who's
Great
like a
charge.
big time. He's in LA and he's a
Right.
teacher, and he's pushing back on a lot of like, you know, a lot of bullshit in the media and a lot of like, you know, backwards thinking and stuff like that. And you know, he is really into like Eric Weinstein and Jordan Peterson and all those guys, and that's the realm he's in. But he's like on the fringe compared to most fucking teachers and most like pussy ass teachers, I'm sure, in his area. And he's taking a lot of shit. People are calling him racist, sexist, you know, every fucking ist you could call him or ism, he's getting called that shit because he's pushing back against them.
Yeah, it's crazy when you don't agree with people.
You know what I mean?
they'll say.
Yeah. You know, it's
Bold
taking
move,
taking a risk because
California.
like, you know, yeah, people are just like filleting you and you know, back in the day I feel like they would have let you go, but nowadays this is why I brought this up. He asked me if the police ever if I have had any bad run-ins with the police, and I do remember one time that I got arrested when I was a kid. And I literally got arrested for like a joint that was like in my car that was like literally like this. That wasn't even mine. I don't even know when it was from or whatever. So anyways, the guy handcuffed me, which I don't even think you can handcuff a kid or a teen anymore.
I had a cop roll on us once. We were partying up at my buddy's house. You know where we were at?
Yeah,
Where
Tim.
we
Yeah.
were at the diapers, right? The diaper party. But now we have diaper parties up there.
Yeah.
We were like smoking cigars and like we were drinking and stuff, but all the alcohol was in another area. And then we were just smoking cigars outside, and the cop just rolls up on everyone, so everyone just fucking scatters. You know what I mean? So right away, he's like trying to arrest
Stop.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, dude, you shouldn't. I mean, really, like, don't roll up on kids, and then you wouldn't.
Yeah. Well,
If I was like, as a man, if that would have happened, I'd have been like, "What's the problem here, officer? We're on private land." You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I could have a satanic thing going down over here. You know, really can't do
the
anything
guy,
about it.
what happened with me is the guy put the cuffs on, and at the police station when he cuffed me to like a pipe. I'm like, okay.
It's automatic, right?
Yeah. I'm like, all right. So I go to him and I said to him, I was like, hey man, this is close to when I broke my wrist the first time, like after. So my wrist was still kind of healing. And I was like, hey man, the handcuff's a little tight. Would you, is there any way, officer, that you could loosen it a little bit? And he goes, yeah, sure. Hold on. Reaches over, clicks it tighter once more. And he goes, now sit there and shut up. I'm like, okay. I'm like, I had a joint, like I had a partial joint,
You're
dude.
a piece
It's like
of shit, dude.
Yeah.
We got busted.
Smoking weed.
Yeah.
We were skating over at Keppel's. It's now the Dollar Tree over here. Used to be abandoned, and we'd wax the curb and go down there, and we'd go into Giant, get chicken and get iced teas, and we'd primarily stay there for the day until they asked us to leave. Well, the one time, somebody just had a bowl, and so we stopped and took a break, and we were always smoking cigarettes, and back then it was like, oh my God, kids are smoking.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Remember how it felt like
dude, it was
people used
crazy.
to hide?
People would call my mom, he's smoking. So we're sitting there, and somebody must have called the cops, or he was like an undercover cop, or something happened where somebody saw us smoking a bowl, and they pull up, and the guy's like, hey, how's everybody doing? Nobody move. We're just all high, and we're like standing there with our skateboards like, what? And he's just like, nobody move right now. He's like, put your skateboards down. He's like, you eating the chicken. I'm like, what? He's like, put the chicken down. I'm like, I'm hungry.
Yeah. Hell no.
And then backup came, and the other cop's like, are you going to eat that? Don't go to waste with that chicken, because it was like an older guy who was retiring. So anyways, he was like accusing everyone of doing it, and was like yelling at my brother, and my brother didn't smoke at the time. So they call all of our parents, and like the one kid's brother came to pick him up because he like somehow got a hold of his brother, or his brother answered the phone, and the cops came down, and his brother smoked, and he's like, what are you bothering these kids for? And the cop's like, what? And he's like, what are you bothering all these kids for? He's like, they're smoking a little pot, skateboarding. He's like, they're not hurting anybody. But then I think they ended up calling my parents, and they were just looking for the parents that like gave too much of a shit and like wanted to do all this stuff. But I mean, I think we got community service, some bullshit like that.
Community service.
Yeah, I always had to do dumb shit
What a
like
waste
that.
of time. I know there are obviously there's a lot of shit going on, but there are a lot of dickhead cops, but there are a lot of really cool cops. Like we trained a bunch of cops, so I'm for the police, but the good police, obviously, not the asshole ones. But I will say this, I do miss the times when you could go down a music fest and then just fucking fist fight the cops.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I miss those days,
dude.
man.
How crazy
Back
would
in the
music
day,
fest
yeah.
used to be? There'd be like
Back in the day,
skinheads
bro.
there fighting people.
Dude, back in the day, you could go down there, sucker punch a few people. The cops try to arrest you. You roll them around on the ground. You fist fight them. They throw you in jail for 3 days. Dude, and if it was early on, you're back at Music Fest.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like they didn't. It was kind of like a thing. Like no one ever got shot. A couple people, I think, might have got stabbed a little bit.
I forgot about that. There was like a section of Music Fest, that's where the fist fights would happen.
Yeah, back in the day, was so much times were simpler, guys. You could just go down to Music Fest and just, throw a bunch of vodka in a Sprite bottle and then just get lit up and then just tune people up, dude. I mean, you could, but nowadays, dude, it's a lot worse. You can't. Nah, you can't, bro. There's so many people. The way the cops are now and the way shit's being treated, they're fucking probably just so scared to make a mistake, or they're gonna be super amped up even more. But literally, like I was working at Valley Farm Market when the guy who was working in the dairy department, his son started fighting the cops, and he started fighting the cops and got the shit beat out of him. And then like they didn't like break his arm or anything, but like you could see his face was all scuffed up. But like somebody I knew saw the fight, so they were like trying to wrestle him, and he like throw the cop down, then the cop tackles him, and then he like rolls the cop over his head, and they're like,
what state is it, or some of the cities where they allow like the cop can be like, all right, I'll fight you, and then like nobody gets in trouble or something, and then like you can throw down with the cop, and if you feel like you can beat the cop. But there was like a video where this guy, or the cop obviously knew how to fight, and he's like, all right, you disagree with me? He's like, I will fight you right now, and he puts everything down, and it's like a law where there's like a thing.
Mutual
I should
combat.
Look it up. Yeah,
mutual combat. I think that goes down in like
that's Portland.
Portland, yeah. where Chaz is. No, I don't know. Remember that one movie we went to go see? It was the night before we were gonna fight kickboxing fights, and then your dude didn't show up in the morning like a little bitch. But we went to go see that cop movie. I forget what it's called. It was on Netflix.
End of watch.
When he goes to fight the cop, and
End
the
of
dude's
watch.
like, "Oh, you." He's like,
I've been waiting for this
yeah,
day.
he's like, "You
I've
made
been
my
waiting for this
motherfucking day."
Yeah.
He's like, "Let's go," and
Make
he's
my
like,
day.
he like goes to tackle him, and he's like
gets
choking
his
him and
ass
shit.
whooped, though.
Yeah, I know. That was classic. But yeah, I'm sure that is a law, bro. But I doubt that happens very often. Joe Rogan was talking about that a long time ago. Like, you know, what's that one from?
I think it is Mutual Combat.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Music Fest was cool, but that shit ain't going down. But that being said, I went out to
mutual
dinner.
combat is you could do that anywhere as long as like if you get in a fight with somebody, don't press charges.
Yeah. I
That's
mean,
mutual
dude,
combat.
in high school, shout out to Mr. Kazakis.
Can't even look it up. It's just to fund the
Our
police
gym,
everywhere.
our
The
gym,
fuck?
old Greek gym teacher. He didn't give a fuck. He'd hit you. He'd slap people if you
Yeah,
were
gym
sleeping.
teachers didn't give a
He'd
fuck.
slap you in the back of the head if you were sleeping.
It's not even that the cops are arresting people that are like clear and sober and just crossing a line and they like get in a fight where it's worth it. It's like some crackhead or some fucking guy that's on PCP trying to beat his wife carrying a knife and then they, you know what I mean? Fuck
Yeah.
that guy.
He raped a
I'm
girl.
shooting you.
He
Like,
raped a
sorry.
girl, and
Yeah, I'm
the
shooting
NBA's
you.
like taking knees and doing shit for
don't-
the guy who he raped a
One
girl.
of the
girl's like,
actors-
what about
Fucking
for
the
the?
guys that write every video, every like once a week I see that video where the two Bethlehem Nazareth cops on 33 got shot by that guy from New York. They like they go to tackle him and the guy gets free.
Oh
and goes
yeah, that
around
cop
and
almost
they
died.
get-
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure
Fuck
they
those
need
guys,
better
dude.
training, but yeah, I mean,
shooting them.
dude,
Yeah, they should be doing jujitsu.
Yeah, but I mean, that's still not the point, though.
I forget the actor made an interesting point where he called out LeBron James because he said that he thinks that the NBA went back because the NBA has ties to where China
Yeah.
is heavily invested, where it's like $3 billion that they will make off of China with basketball. And that out of all of them, LeBron James is making the most amount of money because of Nike deals in China.
Yeah.
And that's why they were like, hey, fuckface, get back to work.
Globalist.
Yeah, like you can't do that shit, dude. You're owned
Yeah.
by fucking Nike, and you want to do all that shit. Drop all your sponsors. Go fucking,
Yeah, and if Biden wins, this is going to have to be dubbed in Chinese because we're going to be speaking
Biden
it
is
soon,
not
right?
winning.
No, there's no
Biden's
way,
not
dude.
winning. They just came out with the
Yeah.
the corona's fake. 9,000 deaths of actual corona. 9,000.
Yeah.
I mean, they just tried to sabotage the entire Trump presidency. That's what they tried to do.
And then they don't even have a
We
good
should be
candidate.
so mad. We
Yeah.
should be like out for blood with these fucking
Yeah,
politicians.
but the
for
media
real.
is not even talking about it.
No, they
They won't even
they
bring
didn't
that
bring
up.
up the sex trafficking thing that went on in Georgia.
I didn't even
where
know about
they
that.
they
55
found
people?
It
Hillary
was
had
like
to tell me about
it
that.
started with they found 39 kids in a trailer.
No
and they
way.
like stopped the sex trafficking ring, and it wasn't even on. Like it's not on YouTube.
Yeah, I haven't
it's not,
seen it.
It's only being shared by other people, being like, "Why the fuck isn't this news?"
Yeah, I did not see
I'm
that.
sorry, but that's way more important than any of the other bullshit you're posting with this fucking riots and all this other shit. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is really crazy.
And then I think when they went down the rabbit hole, it was almost 60 kids they saved at this point.
Wow.
Going down the ring from the 39 they found.
They said that was what's
But it's like,
going on.
that's the shit you should be focusing
Shit
on,
we've
man.
been talking about for months now.
Yeah.
Oh, we're wrong, dude.
Yeah. Fuck you guys.
Yeah.
Well, you don't
Fuck
understand,
you.
Mike. You don't understand charts and graphs and
Yeah, look, according to this chart, you can see that I'm full of shit. Anytime you pull out a chart, I'm like,
yeah, I know.
We don't need to
Yeah,
do
a couple guys like I'm not gonna name their names, even though I should. They're like right when it first started. I'm like, fuck this bullshit. It's the flu, and then guys would send me like, bro, you don't understand, but check out the
wheel.
But then
The graph
But then
wheel.
I'm like, yo, the CDC's bullshit. But then they put out a thing like this on the low. And everyone's like, "Hey, what's up? What gives with that?"
And then you still have
CDC is
people being like,
Chinese.
well, you should still be taking care of yourself, and you still technically died because you're not healthy. And shut the fuck up.
Well, this should be a wake up call for most people to get their shit together in your own life.
That's what Tim Kennedy posted. He was just like, dude, like this is
Yeah.
all about health. He's like, not once have you posted or put anything on there that people need to be taking care of
Yeah,
themselves.
and it's not my job to get you healthy.
Yeah.
It's not me. It's
Tim
you.
Kennedy's so wise.
You're
dude.
on that fucking shit. Figure it out yourself, man.
You like
I'm
Tim
out
Kennedy?
here working
No.
and shit. You know, I don't even pay. I didn't like Tim Kennedy the last time I checked in with him, which was years ago. So I don't know what he's up to right
I don't
now.
have like many gurus. Like everyone like looks to people for like
I just saw that he shared it, and I was just like, yeah, it was an interesting point.
I'm Master JM.
I do think that Yoel Romero cheated in his last fight, though.
Dude.
That was his last fight.
I
right?
think so. He hung it up because he wouldn't get off the stool. He wouldn't get off the stool.
Hey, man. It is what it is.
I like Yoel Romero.
I like
too.
Boy. That's called gameness right there. That's called gameness.
That's definitely a black belt move right there.
Yeah.
What
I
did
do
he-
shit like that in rolling all the
Did
time.
he get hurt? Is that why he's not fighting Uriah Hall? I wanted to see that fight bad.
Dude, he's fought. Dude, Yoel Romero gets the shaft every time he fights because he's Cuban and can't speak English. They don't want him being the champ. He gets the shaft every time. He's lost a couple of decisions where I was like, that could have went to. Like
Costa.
Whitaker, he lost, but like
Yeah.
a couple. Yeah, the
Costa was back and forth.
Yeah, they didn't want him. They don't.
Man, he has to take every
He
tough
takes every.
fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people don't like Tito Ortiz, and that's what Dana White did to him too.
Right.
Made him just like, hey, you go, okay, fight Machida, okay,
Yeah.
fight this guy, like, okay, fight. And he
Rashad
was like,
Evans.
all right, fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'll find every
And
best
he was like
fucking
knocking
guy.
out guys and
Yeah.
shit. He went on a little run.
Yeah, and then he started
was a huge
winning.
Tito
He
fan.
almost.
He's like a massive Trump supporter.
Yeah, he is right.
Yeah.
So is Dana White. Tito almost triangled Machida at the end too. I remember I was watching that. Like Tito was coming in hard with punches, and Machida hit him with one of those knees, which like you're kind of working on now. Those front fucking weird knees. And Anderson Silva does that too. We were talking about it, but it's real weird because like you feel like the guy can still hit you in the face, but you're just like
You control the hands and your head's way back.
and you're just like bow, and like the guy's coming in at you, and you're like kind of fading back, but then you're also throwing a knee right into their gut, and it's like the weirdest thing when you time that. It's got to be like so smooth, like cutting through butter. Where you're just like, ugh. And he hit Tito Ortiz with that shit, and he went down, and then Machida got on top, tried to finish him, and then he got kind of lazy in his guard. Yeah, and then Tito just chucked up a triangle real quick and almost had him. He just backed out.
Ran out of time.
Yeah, he just backed out of it. And then,
did he get out?
Yeah, I think he did get out. So I didn't watch UFC this weekend. Did anything cool happen? Or
Nope. It was a fight night, so there was only 4 fights. The first fight was Lamas and some guy from PA.
Bill Algeo. That was fight of the night, right?
Yeah, what was it?
I didn't see.
It was
He
cool.
fought, right?
I thought, well, the guy from PA, because what is he from?
Philly.
What's the mall down there?
King of Prussia.
Yes. It was cool. And we were like, yeah, PA. And he looked good in 2 rounds. And then he lost the third, which was just probably Lamas with experience, just kind of wrote him out. And
Yeah,
then they
he-
gave it to Lamas, unanimous decision. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. He almost had him knocked out in the first.
Bill
Caught him with a
Algeo's-
fucking knee.
He's been
Lamas
around
had
for
no clue where he
It's
was.
funny, like he's just making his UFC debut. So a lot of people are like, "Oh man, cool! This new guy from PA." He almost competed in the finishers back in the day, but he ended up having a fight. You cornered Scott against him, right?
He was fun. he looked good. I was like, cool. I'd like to see him fight
And
again.
for those of you guys from our school out there listening, or potential MMA fighters, not only was he fighting amateur, he was doing tons of jiu-jitsu tournaments. He's already a black belt in jiu-jitsu, and he's good at grappling. He's good. Stand up is solid.
Yeah, I thought he won.
And then he also he used to fight kick. He fought my one of my real good close friends from back in the day, Jim Garzillo, and twice he fought him. I think maybe even in kickboxing matches. So like Bill was fighting Bill Algeo, he just made his UFC debut, but I mean he's been fighting kickboxing matches, all this other shit. He didn't just jump to fucking
Well,
UFC.
no shit. No one can
You know
just
what I
jump to
mean?
UFC.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
unless you're
people
from
don't
fucking-
understand that shit. They want to just go right.
People
Hey
do,
man,
though.
you gotta just. Yeah, you're right. People
People do.
People definitely do.
Unless you're from Pennsylvania.
Yeah, you gotta go
Scott
the hard
Heckman,
way,
You got to
dude.
fight 50 times and still not get in.
Same with Bill Algeo. He probably
Yeah.
has mad fights, and like I said, he's been kickboxing.
He's like
training
literally
forever.
out of fights.
He looked awesome.
He's out of fights. He had to go in the UFC.
The fight after that was the chick fight. That was 3 rounds of just horse shit. Then Robbie Lawler, who still didn't throw, like he just looked the same in his last 3
And
fights,
Gil
won't throw a
Magny's tough.
punch. Yeah, no, Magny looked good. I knew Magny was going to have the distance. He looked awesome on the ground. It was just the whole corner. Let him go,
Dude, you
Robbie,
gotta-
and he just wouldn't.
Robbie Lawler's been fighting so long a time.
Yeah.
It's probably like he's just like, whatever, dude. I'll
Yeah.
get paid real quick.
Same thing with Cerrone. They're just like,
Yeah.
hey, man,
Yeah, they're
whatever.
both
like,
kind of in the same
whatever.
boat as like super
Yeah.
one-dimensional. Like, I don't know. Magny
You're
looked really fucking
A
good.
motivated version of that guy is probably, you know what I mean? Like when he first came back, was kicking dudes in the head and shshit.
Yeah. What did Robbie Lawler attempt any submissions or no?
No, when he was on the ground, he kept his
zero.
head down.
Yeah.
And Felder just kept talking about how that was the worst thing he could possibly do because he can't see anything.
He had he just has that really insane. I think we just might have talked about it, but he has that really insane stat where he's never attempted a submission in his UFC career, and he's got a million fights. He's never even attempted a sub.
He threw a couple of knees, nothing real crazy. And then the last 30 seconds, he threw 3 head kicks in a row, and I was just like, It's like, I don't know. I love Lawler.
Brady
It sucks
choked the guy
watching
out
it.
with one hand.
Oh, yeah.
That guy is huge.
He's another Daniel Gracie guy, right?
Yep.
I think Ant's going down to, he's living in Philly with his girlfriend now because he's going to college down there. He's going to be training at Daniels.
Oh, nice.
I'm sending him over there because he wants to, he kickboxes and shit too. I'm like, believe me, they're doing MMA.
They're the most like us. I mean, balance too is cool.
Yeah, balance is cool, but I don't know if they've.
It's all good.
Yeah, they haven't been open or whatever the situation is. I don't know, but here's a funny thing. I'm glad I wrote this down. So I went to Wegmans last night to grab a few things.
248?
No, the one over here on.
He goes to 512.
Yeah,
512.
512 is right by my crib. It's like 5 minutes away. So I'm like, I'm going to go down there, grab a few things for snacks that night, whatever, going to watch a movie. So as I'm walking in, I'm walking by this woman and her husband. They're looking at like some pumpkin thing on the outside, and they don't have a mask on. And I'm walking in, I got the gator mask or whatever the fuck it is, where I can just pull it up to like here, just kind of lean it under my nose. But as I'm walking in, the guy goes, "All right, come on, honey, let's go. Let's get this over with." And she goes, "All right." She goes, "Okay, babe, put your fucking Democrat mask on."
I mean, it's silly now.
I just go like this.
It really is
I just
silly.
turn around and I was like, just gave him the thumbs up over.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And the gator mask doesn't work anymore. Jesse went into the Disney store and they have policies now, and they came up to him and were like, "That's a gator mask and it doesn't work." And they gave him another mask and they're like, "If you'd like to be in here with your daughter, you have to wear that over top of your gator." And he's like,
Yeah.
"What?"
I could see that being like a I could totally see that being like a Simpsons
Why are you
thing
fucking
where
with me, dude?
they give him
I would just
the
leave.
mask and he just throws it in the
That's
trash.
why
Then they give him another
that's why
one.
I'm never eating at Chipotle again, because that lady that runs the one on Freemansburg Ave told me I couldn't do this with my shirt and eat there. It's like, I'm never
stupid.
eating here again.
I'm walking in for 5 seconds and I'm going to sit down. I don't need to
never
wear it.
eating here again. Well, there's people literally sitting down.
Yeah, with not on.
But they're at tables that are heightened, so like they're literally at my standing height. Like
I went. It's so pointless at this point. It's so pointless at this point that I don't even think to put it on, because everyone's not like, I went to Torre for brunch and we're sitting up top and everybody around me doesn't have them except for the waitress, which is just stupid.
Mind-boggling.
Like, so dumb that anyone's on board with that. Like, full-grown adults are like, "Hey,
need that paycheck."
Hey. So I went to use the bathroom and I didn't wear my mask, and then I was like, "Oh shit, my mask!" And I'm like, "I'm not putting my fucking mask on to go take a piss."
Yeah.
I was just like it. I'm sitting. That's the only way I don't get it. Like, get the fuck out of here. Out of here.
Sense. I went
no
to the-
sense. And nothing's backed behind the logic. They're just like, "Nah, it's the way it is."
You got to do it.
And then their fucking restaurant's over.
Yeah.
Can't even sit at a fucking bar anymore. And then I wanted to go get another drink at Bar Louie, and I'm like, well, now I got to wait for a table, where before I would have just popped in at the bar, had a mimosa there. Fucking. Ugh.
Wait, you want to pop in at a bar and have a mimosa? You want old people to die?
Can't sit at the bar.
You
dude.
piece of shit!
Don't take my business away.
The CDC wants you.
That's crazy. Good
They
brunch,
said
though.
180,000 and there's only 10 that died of corona. 100, so that's 18 times. For every one, there's 18 they lied about.
What's crazy is that came out, and I still check the YouTube news feed, and they're like 6 million people globally. like it's just still, they're just pumping the shit through.
Everything's like programmed and shit, I feel like.
That's crazy. I said to somebody, I said, when people look back on this, it's just going to be such a fucking, like, you guys wore masks.
Yeah, you're gonna be one of the people like, oh, I did.
Yeah.
I wore the mask.
I'm on the right. We're on
I
the
was
right
dabbing
side
in
of history again.
2018. I was doing the dab. Like you don't have me doing that on camera.
No.
Yeah,
Like-
could you imagine, like, your son being like, "Dad, what did you do?" And you're like, "Let me tell you about how I
Exactly.
didn't do it, kid."
Exactly.
Those are the cool stories, though.
Yeah. Being that, like I was just what I was saying. Like I was to Texas, I was to Florida. I was like, where else is it bad? I might as well go to fucking Wuhan, see how it's going down there.
I still
They're
don't
doing
know
fucking
anyone.
dance parties out there.
Yeah,
and
I
shit.
know.
None of my friends have got it. I don't know one person.
How about the
Yeah, because
media?
it's fucking fake. Like
what
we've
I'm
been saying
saying.
this whole fucking time.
How about the media not reporting all that? The media not reporting how they're rioting in Germany all together, saying it's fake.
Yeah.
But the media over
Rubber Guard
here
Assassins
only
always
just
posting that.
the
Well,
media.
Don Lemon's
yeah.
interviewing fucking what was his face? You got Don Lemon on there.
Yeah,
and
that
shit.
guy's a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah, Jesus.
He was the one saying like
What a piece of shit that
Don
guy is.
Lemon's like, I just seeing Jerry Sandusky come out with handcuffs, just something about me just felt bad for him. Hey, Don Lemon, he fucked kids in the ass. You
Yeah.
piece of shit. Someone should beat Don Lemon's ass. That
He
guy's
stinks.
a fucking scumbag.
He stinks.
Screw
Who
that,
was he
dude.
interviewing? I forget. I don't know.
He was interviewing somebody, and he was trying. I don't know if it was that
He's trying to normalize
the
pedophilia.
I think it was Jacob's parents, or he was interviewing somebody. I think it was the guy who recently got shot by the police, and then he was trying to invoke her to like give out more fuel for the fire, and she just was like, no. She's just like, I don't think you should be doing any of this stuff that you're doing, and I don't think you should immortalize my son by burning people's businesses down. And he just sat there quiet, and you could tell.
Which guy?
Fuck.
Which guy was that?
Lemon. It was Don Lemon was interviewing. I think it was the last guy that died's parents. He was interviewing somebody, and he was just trying to do media bullshit of like getting more, clickable fucking bullshit
It's
to
all
put out
fucking
there.
fake.
Yeah.
All of
Yeah.
it.
The
all of it.
the last
George,
thing
you don't
yeah.
talk about George Floyd no more because that was a fentanyl overdose
Yeah.
on camera.
Crazy how like
That
all
was-
it's crazy all the people that like including people that gave me shit is like nobody's posting anything anymore, and then they just wait for the next wave, and it's just like all these people that posted that black square that day, it's like all the girls just posted
nooks.
that. It's just
For nooks.
it's just fake bullshit.
Yeah, you
It's
don't.
fake.
You don't have to. That's like coming out and being like, "Well, obviously, I'm not racist." Well, yeah, dude, you don't have to say that if you're not. You don't have to post all this stupid.
Yeah,
shit.
I don't have to defend myself.
Yeah, no, I'm not defending myself against anything. I don't have nothing to do with any of that shit.
Do you break your glasses?
You know, fuck that.
No,
the last
thought I
thing,
did.
the last thing I will say about that is, just if you took more than 10 minutes and really looked into it, just don't watch CNN. It's pretty easy. They were the ones just everybody's making a big deal how they were saying mostly peaceful protests while there's fucking buildings.
Yeah, those memes are funny,
burning
like the
in the
Titanic.
background.
Peaceful protesters. There's fire in the background.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they got
Places are burning down.
They got the one who's Anderson Cooper, where he's like talking about QAnon like they're crazy people. It's like
Yeah.
everything they're fucking saying is right.
Yeah.
They've been calling it the whole time.
You can't watch.
It's crazy that
People
the
are waking
media
up
doesn't
to it.
have.
But that's the thing. If you watch the news
A
and you
leash.
watch this shit and you watch these YouTube clips, you think the world's at each other's throats.
You'll go crazy.
Everyone's gonna die.
You'll go
You're gonna fucking burn in. You know what I mean? And everything's wrong and blah blah blah. But then I go out in town.
Yeah, I noticed. I was going to say that too.
Everybody's
And
really
I
nice.
wanted to bring that up. Is that if you plug into certain like you follow like specific people, or if you're just around a lot of people who are just pumping that shit on social media, and then you go like, it's exactly how you said it. Like I was in the Wegmans the other day, and this black lady walked by me, and I'm just like, oh, all right. And I'm not racist at all, and I don't even look into situations. But the lady was like, she's like, hey, sugar. She's like, I like your toes because they're painted by my niece. And I started laughing, and then I go to her. I was like, thanks, my niece did it. And I'm walking away, and I'm like, nobody's fighting with each other.
No, not out.
I was just like,
Not in the real world.
I've never been rude to people of minorities
Yeah.
or anything, and it's just like but it opened my eyes up to like, oh, the shit that you're watching on the internet, none of it's not fucking.
Yeah.
That's for people who are jacking off at home.
But it's got you
Yeah.
thinking about it though.
Yeah,
to where you're
yeah,
out
yeah,
in
yeah.
thing and you're like, oh man, is this person different from me?
Yeah.
Like,
Or even with the riot
What?
clips they show, like in Portland and everything, it's like that's just a section. It's not the entire.
It's people that want to
Yeah.
get into shit.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
It's like here we go. We gotta like purge these people of like the kid that shot those three people. The one was a Jewish child molester, pedophile, and then the two other ones were fucking criminals too.
Yeah, and then
So
the
he got
guy.
shot.
Yeah, and then the
Fucking
guys.
idiot.
The guy.
Don't run up on a guy with a rifle on.
Yeah, and then the guy who shot. These are all
Fucking
white
idiot.
people, by the way.
Yeah.
these are all white people. And then
How
the guy,
crazy is that?
Yeah, the guy who shot. That's what Bill said. He's like, dude, white people are shooting other white people in fucking Wisconsin, dude. You better be strapped to the gills. I'm like, I don't
a
know,
lot of
dude.
people are.
But when you go downtown, like when you in that case, people are defending that kid too. I see a lot of people like defending that kid, and yeah, it is his right to defend himself, sure. But bro, when you go, it's like playing in traffic.
Yeah.
You want to play a fucking tag
Yeah,
football
he might
game
go
on
to jail
22?
for a long time now. You know, because
Yeah, they're like trying to get
Don't be in the
lawyers
middle-
and
don't
stuff.
go to
and-
music fest with a rifle on you.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, Keep that shit at home.
What are you
You're
doing?
asking for trouble.
What you doing?
And I love how they make it seem like they're like, I can't believe that crazy person brought that down there. And I'm like, yo, if you're down there at all doing any of that shit, like you either don't have a job, you don't have your shit, like, you know what I mean? Like, what are you doing down there other than causing fucking trouble?
Yeah.
So one side's burning fucking shit down, the other side's down there with shit and being like, stop burning shit. But it's like, if you're involved in that, like, what the fuck are you thinking anyways?
Yeah.
I don't have time for that
Nothing
shit.
It kind of reminds
Two
me
of you,
of that, yeah.
two of you have time to go down there and fucking start fighting people and lighting buildings on
I
fire.
had a tattoo artist that went to a BLM protest. I'm not going no more. Like, I'm just like,
Do you remember?
you fell for that. I can't fuck with
Do
you.
you remember that one old Dave Chappelle joke was hilarious? It kind of reminds me of that, sort of, when he's like, hey, officer, he's like, just because I am dressed this way. Remember that? When he was like acting like he was a police officer?
You are wearing a whore's uniform.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything bad should happen, but I'm saying, you know, you're putting it out there. You're going down into the freaking riot with a gun.
No, I don't feel bad
What's
for anybody.
gonna happen?
You fucking, what do you thought was going to happen? What do you
All
think
y'all
was going to
got
happen?
shot. I'm glad they got shot, those idiots. Those people are idiots.
Yeah, even if I
All that
'cause I was
shit,
trying
like-
to put myself in that situation. I was like, even if I was down there and like shit was popping off, and I saw some dude with an AR, I'd probably tap my buddy on the shoulder and be like, "Hey man, like it's time to get the fuck out of here."
Yeah, I'm not.
I wouldn't be like, "Oh!"
I'm in the eye of the storm.
Skateboard, you fucking dummy.
I'm in the eye of the storm down
Places
here.
with places that are like with high morality, that's just not allowed to go down. It's not going to be tolerated. Like, let someone try to run shit around here like that. Like
Yeah, I
some
don't think it's
fucking
gonna happen.
riot where you're starting to break shit, dude. I will fucking kill you in a heartbeat.
I think a lot of
in
people
my town,
around
dude.
here would. I think
Yeah,
a lot of
it wouldn't-
people.
it wouldn't-
That's why it's not happening.
never gonna
here.
happen here. Never gonna happen here because we will run in your ass, dude.
Yeah, I think a lot of people around here ain't playing that shit.
No.
Doesn't
No.
matter what color
No,
you are.
doesn't
You're just,
matter.
you ain't playing that shit.
Nope.
You ain't gonna take the riots up to South T. You ain't gonna take the riots over to the township.
That
You-
is-
I'm telling you, people ain't playing that shit around here. I know it.
That's one thing I
know it.
appreciated about the Lehigh Valley is it's
Yeah.
been civilized the entire fucking time.
Everybody around here is cool.
And
I
it's
feel
totally
like around
fucking
here
mixed.
is-
It's totally
yeah.
mixed, this area.
Around here is really cool, man. Look at the school. And that's, we talk about it all the time. Look at the jiu-jitsu school. No one sees shit like that. There's people
No.
from all over the fucking place in there. We'll have kids in kickboxing. I've never even seen them before, and they're like Russian. They don't speak any fucking English. I'm like, all right, dude. You know, we got all types of people there. Women, kids. You know, it doesn't matter. That's what's cool about it. So in my world, I don't even. I'm lucky. I don't have
Doesn't
to deal
exist.
with a lot of that shit because I'm in my own world. I know that's tough. It sucks, and it's like, you know. But I'm staying. I have been staying a lot out of the news. I do check in though because I want to see what the fuck's
Yeah, but if
going
you
on.
did,
I mean, dude, we've been beating a dead horse since we've been doing this podcast since they shut down. Since this whole thing began, we've been saying the same shit.
Yeah, it's true.
Like, if you keep checking in, like, yeah, I know it's fucking goofy nonsense. That's why I don't fuck with it. I haven't fucked with it in weeks.
Yeah,
I don't watch.
You got rid of Netflix.
I got rid
Told
of
him it
all.
was for
Dude, I'm
told
getting.
him it was for
I got rid of
pedophilia.
Netflix. Fuck Amazon. I don't watch like old. I don't pay attention to a lot of jujitsu. Dude, take a cue from Grace, bro. She don't pay attention to none of that shit.
Yeah, it's true.
Follows 0 people. I don't give a fuck who wins what. I don't care
She
what
follows
submission
me
they
and you,
use.
yeah.
I don't care. I don't give a fuck. Oh, did you see this? Check this out. We're gonna work this into this. I don't care.
You know why that?
don't
You know
care.
why that's one of the best ways to do it, especially for us, and that's how I've been running it too. And people are like, "Oh, you don't see this guy's been," and I will. I'm not ignorant to new moves. If someone like someone at the school's teaching, a
I know
move or something,
jiu-jitsu,
I wanna
dude.
learn it. But here's the thing: you watch too many of the same guys. Like I don't follow Gordon Ryan. I don't follow. Fucking Seth Daniels. I don't follow none of those guys because I don't want to be, first of all, I don't want to get mad when they post up something that kind of could irritate me, because I do like those guys personally, but I don't want to get involved in their politics or their bullshit or their
I don't follow them
beefs or
because I don't
whatever.
take cue from those
Yeah.
guys.
And I don't want to be influenced at all by them, even subconsciously, into
Right.
doing shit like how they do it.
Or
Because
in
that's not
spite
how
of
I
how
am.
they do it. Yeah.
I'm going to do it the opposite because, no, I'll figure out my own path. That's the best way to do it. You're exactly right. It's not. It's important not to be influenced by all these different
I
people.
mean, a jiu-jitsu guy's always got someone else's name in their mouth. They're always like beep 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 beep. They
Yeah.
always got some other dude's name. Like, get their dick out of your mouth. Like, I just feel like it's just like, aren't you like your own man? Like, you know what I mean? Like, fucking, I don't care what everyone else is doing at all.
And then sometimes I'll even do stuff and I'll see people or I'll hear and people be like, oh, this move or this, that, or whatever.
This guy,
And I'm just like, dude, listen, man.
dude,
Okay.
let him fucking put his dick in your
Okay.
mouth, dude. Let him do that. I don't know. That's just what it sounds to me. It's like, I don't. So I unplug from all of it. That's what I'm happiest. I come in, teach my class.
I'm unplugging more. The
Yeah.
more I'm, You know,
What do you need Netflix for? I'm not on Netflix. I don't watch Netflix. I got YouTube to be on in the background. I know, and then Hillary wants like HBO Max. I canceled HBO too because
You could rent a movie anytime you want, though.
right. Yeah, I can do. I mean, movies now are weird. Bill and Ted came out. That's cool.
But it's
Yeah, I
like-
was gonna watch it, but
gonna watch
I'm
that.
on the fence.
You know what it's weird about though is they start charging the movies now like are almost all $10 or $9.
Yeah, well, the new
because
movies they do.
There's no movie
Yeah,
theaters.
and
Yeah.
I don't think they're coming back. You're going to see the surgence of like the drive-in, which they were big around here anyways, like Becky's and
Yeah,
Mahoney.
I spend my weekends working on the bike and just putting stuff together on the bike. I read. I get on the bike, dude. I drive somewhere. If I want to stop and get a milkshake or fucking Rita's, I'll eat a Rita's, read a book. You know what I mean? I'll go to a store, buy a new holster for my gun. That's what my weekends are like. I'm just
Yeah. The more I
I mean-
focus on like doing the stuff, like even like the business, I'm so lucky to have it. Where a friend of mine was like bitching about having to go to work today, and I was like went over and had coffee with her. And then when I started getting into the hustle, hitting people up, trying to move the Keystone shirts, trying to make moves, and I'm like, I love this. And the more I stay in that, it's just like what you said. It's like I watched Sopranos last night, and I enjoy unplugging Sopranos and watching it with my friend. But it's like that isn't a part of my life that I'm like, man, I really like fucking doing that. And then it's like the more like even how you pointed that out. I was like, maybe if I unsubscribe to a lot of that shit
Yeah,
and started
you need to
spending
get-
more time reading and doing other things.
yeah.
Like I was talking to Craig on that Made interview, that podcast. That guy reads so many goddamn books. It
Yeah.
made me want to read books.
Yeah.
Like he's like, oh, I read this book. I read that book. He's like, well, in business you learn this, and then I read this, and then I was just like, dude, I was like, you read nonstop, and he's like, yeah. He's like, I like learning from people who are smarter than me.
Yeah, and a book is different. Like you can like a story on TV. There's always like an agenda or like they gotta have a like you should see the TV my fiance watches. Dude, it's trash. It's fucking garbage. Even she's realizing it because I can't. It'll be something on TLC and then I'll be like these people are so fucking
what?
fake and
What is
disgusting.
it?
Like what was like 90 Day Fiance or like
Just those train wreck shows.
or like there's one where like people out of jail or like they're like pen pals in jail and they get out of jail and then they're like trying to get married before they send them to the halfway house. It's fucking trash, dude. It's just such garbage. It's like I can't even fucking watch this, Hillary.
One of my yeah.
I just read.
Yeah.
Because then you can get a book by a guy like I'm reading a couple books. I jump into a couple books.
One of
at a
my
time.
exes used to watch that shit all the time, and I would always give her
Fucking
shit.
garbage.
I would be like, I would look at her, and be like, and then I should have known at that point that I should have broken up with her a long time before that. But I would just look at her and be like, why do you give a? I think at the time it might have been, it was
Kardashians.
It was the Kardashians. That was later on though. But it was
Smiths.
before. It was even before the Kardashians. It was maybe it was a Playboy Mansion.
Oh
the
yeah,
girls.
yeah.
And then they like did a.
It was like
spin-off
Hef's
on
wives.
Just
Wives.
Girls.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would just
Yeah,
say,
all that's
I would
fake.
just
My buddy
say to her,
works
yeah,
for TV, and he said that they were like, "Here's the script," and
yeah.
even that house hunting show, he ruined it for me.
All
where,
of it.
where they walk through and they look at 3 homes. They own the home already, and then the realtor asks them if they want to be on the show, and if they do, they submit it, and then if they want to use that home, then they pick 2 other homes, and then they pretend to walk through their home like they don't already own
Yeah,
it.
we would next time my buddy
House
Sean.
hunters.
Yeah, next time my buddy Sean comes to area, we got to get him on here just because he works for Rob Dyrdek. He works for the whatever the name. I don't even know what the name of the show is
Name
that
drop.
Rob Dyrdek's on. But he works for Robin Big.
Yeah.
He works for him. And he's been doing like when he first started comedy out in LA, he started doing all types of random shit, and he's got stories all day of how he started telling me how like it's all fake. Then we went to a couple tapings of shit like The Price is Right and all this other stuff, and it's just it's completely fake. The whole thing is fake.
Staged.
Yeah, and you're like, what? I'm like, I didn't know that.
But there's people that like watch those like what was that Honey Boo Boo Girl? Like people think that's real.
I would just look
How
at her
crazy
and be
is
like,
that?
People are
how
shocked
can
when they
you-
find out like
Yeah.
people like action stars do their own stunts. Like, no, he does his own stunts. Like, yeah, because it's all fucking fake. Like they're shocked when it's real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Well,
it's all fake.
I used to say to her, like, why do you give a fuck about these other people's lives. Who cares? Because then you start thinking like, well, if this person does this, then I want that too. Well, look how I should do that. And then all of a sudden your brain gets warped into like some fucking reality TV show star.
After she went to bed.
Get out of here.
After Hill went to bed last night, I left it. I was like reading. She went to bed and her TV was still on, so like then it would turn into this thing where this chick's getting like plastic surgery. She's like, I want the fakest tits I can possibly get. I want my nose fixed. It's like, dude, this is just fucking hot garbage.
Yeah.
That's why I like books. I like books. I like my
Doing
motorcycle.
stuff.
I like jujitsu. I like guns.
Yeah.
I like knives. I like swords. I don't know, tools.
I like doing stuff.
I'm gonna start working on my tool collection. I'm gonna buy a house. I'm gonna start working on that motherfucker. I don't care about the business, my jiu-jitsu students.
Get a garage.
I'm too busy with all that stuff. I can't be thinking, what's Seth Daniels up to? Like, who gives a shit?
Yeah, you gotta unload all that stuff. Our students are still, some of them are still into that. You know, I do keep.
I mean, there are students. They're like, they're purple belts. They've been training 3-4 years.
Yeah. I do keep an eye on what's going on though, just because I want to see.
Right. Yeah, because it's your job. You run a tournament. I understand.
But not like I didn't watch whatever was on last night, Submission Underground. There were some good matches, but I didn't watch it because
99% of jiu-jitsu looks like amateur hour to me.
Corny.
It's just
corny,
shit.
and also too like it's 5-minute round with like
it
one
sucks.
like it's
what's
like,
that Chaels thing?
It's in a cage. It looks like shit.
Yeah.
I did it. I did show it. I liked it when I was on it, but you know what I mean? Like, it's just it's just I can't. It's like old milk. I don't know. It's like just.
And I gotta watch because I'm like trying to manage some of the guys, so like I'm trying to like help them with their career because I know that.
Yeah, but but you could still watch all that shit and then stay in your lane, and you have a bunch of shit going on in your life, so it keeps you fucking level-headed.
Yeah.
It's people who don't have anything going on. They get into that shit, they grab onto it, that becomes their life. Then they get some kind of warped perspective of life living on the internet, and then they turn into total fucking lunatics, and that's how you end up at a fucking, I don't care what kind of fucking, I believe in a lot of stuff, and I would never have the time to go to a fucking rally.
Yeah,
I don't have fucking time. I barely have time to meet up with friends, let alone go fucking protest somewhere.
Because you're trying to.
It's mostly you don't have shit going on in your life.
You're trying to get laid or whatever. You know what I mean? Gotta go to the Biden rally real quick.
I'm just saying, find something you like to
do. The Biden rally, that's who you want to hang out.
The Biden rally is going on.
Go ahead, honey.
What's up, girl?
Yeah. Get AIDS.
Biden rally's going around in people's
You won't die from it.
No.
There's not an actual place that they're having it. They're like recording in people's
it's bad, dude.
No.
He can't even fucking talk. It's bad. And then I don't know. I woke up this morning. Hill had to wake up early this morning to go to work, and Donald Trump Jr. was on making a speech on the RNC. Like, I can't watch that shit either. Like,
no.
You know what I mean? I'm like, I could get it. Like, it's like a, it's cool.
Somebody sent me something to follow. After like 2 weeks, I was like, I don't need to see this shit every day.
I'm worried I'm gonna ruin all the fun for my son. Like, I'm gonna ruin it for him because I know too much. Or he'll just be like wise to it real early.
He'll be level-headed, like you said, wise to it early.
Yeah, you just gotta not.
I don't want to tell him like Santa's fake and shit. Like, like
my dad always told me some shit I was doing. He was always like, and then as I got older, I definitely said to him, I should have listened to you more. You definitely knew what you were talking about, and you definitely tried to steer me in. Even with going into jobs, I'd like get into it with these bosses, and he's like, keep your head down, just work, man. He's like, just work. If you don't like it, try and find another job. Like, just stay the course, keep your mouth shut, don't fucking talk to anybody, because I'd come in, I'd be like, oh, this guy's cool, and he's like, I don't. You probably just shouldn't talk to anybody at work. And then 2 weeks later, it's drama, and somebody's fucking this person at Martin Guitar, and I'm coming home, and I'm like, oh, and he's just like, yeah, man, I told you not to get involved in any of that
Martin?
shit. Yeah.
Oh, I heard a lot of stuff. We know a lot of people who work at Martin Guitar here. It's just like, I mean, any big company like that, there's a lot of drama, dude.
Yeah.
Speaking of big companies, Finishers Enterprise is trying to expand. So if anyone knows of any buildings out there or anybody who's willing to host a Finishers tournament, definitely slide into the DMs. So, I mean, there's money to be made out there. We're trying to make it. So we're trying to, and we want to run tournaments. Guys like the way we do it. So I see they're doing shit in Maryland, possibly Pennsylvania coming up in October. So I think things are lightening up. So, I see, shout out to Jimbo went down, Dead Orchard, a guy that was pretty dope. I don't know
Yeah,
where
he had
was
to
that
cut
one?
all that kinds of weight. He lost to a brown belt in the finals, which I don't know why a brown belt was in his division, but
He's a blue
brown
belt.
belt beat a blue belt, yeah. But so Jimbo got first place.
Nice.
Good for him.
Jimbo got first
we
place.
have a sub-only tournament in Maryland. We start making, the rounds around in this area, maybe like New Hampshire.
He straight ankle locked someone, I heard, which is weird. I'm like, a straight ankle lock.
Him and
But
Sid
cool.
go, they'll go
Yeah,
for that
that's what
stuff.
that.
I mean, dude, honestly,
cool, whatever.
remember, I'm putting up all these old videos on my Instagram, but you saw that one, or not from the one, but the other Gracie Nationals / Worlds that we were at, where I did straight ankle lock a guy for some
Yes.
reason, and then I straight ankle lock a guy at the finisher tournament too. In class, I never go for a straight ankle lock.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta get
I'll
it moving.
just bend it real quick and just see if I could just,
Yeah.
see if you could just take out their ankle real quick. I don't know. I don't know why I went for that, but
Next time you see
Yeah,
me,
that's
it's
cool.
with strikes. I'm not doing jiu-jitsu anymore.
yeah, that too. I'm definitely working on some stuff with that. Jiu-jitsu, obviously the tournament, the open, the pro.
I mean, like, you're not
combat
even gonna
jiu-jitsu,
pass guard.
MMA.
You're not even gonna pass guard in a real fight. Like, if some guy sits in front of you, like, that's. I look at old pictures of me, like sitting. You watch old videos or you watch like old strategies and just sit in guard. Like, I only did that because like Eddie told me to do it. Like, Eddie was telling me like, yo, just pull guard, just pull guard. Marcelo pulls guard,
But
Marcelo also wrestles and gets on top.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
My days of guard pulling are over.
Marcelo pulls guard to sweep. and get
Right.
on
Yeah,
top.
yeah. Yeah. But I mean, I'll pull guard when I have to, but it's just no one would even go in there.
Yeah.
Like, you guys are getting leg locked, passing guards that they wouldn't even try to pass. Like, if you were in a UFC fight and the guy sat down, like, you'd be like, I'm not going in there.
Well, how about me?
Stand the
How
fuck
about
up.
me versus Meow in a regular jiu-jitsu tournament? You go against Meow, what are you gonna do? But if it was a fight, though, I would have
Well,
just
that's-
been.
that's
chilled
never
in
gonna
that-
happen.
I know, but I'm saying if it was, I would have just chilled in the Z guard and beat the shit out of him. You know what I mean? Just kept hitting him, going
Yeah,
his full guard,
I guess.
elbows.
I just wouldn't have went in there anyway. You're not just gonna. If a guy sits on his ass, you're at a disadvantage. He has his legs and his arms. You only have your arms.
Mm-hmm.
What am I gonna do? You know what I mean? It's not a good spot. I'm not gonna go into Thor's guard.
No, the guys usually don't. UFC, they
No.
kick you.
Yeah, I'm
or
gonna
they
kick at you and
stand
make
out
you
and be
stand
like,
up.
Yeah, let's
I'm not
go.
gonna fight you like that. It's fucking stupid. You know what I mean? Then you're like, oh, well, you got to work on your leg lock defense. Like, you don't compete. What are you telling me about fucking leg lock defense? Get fucked. You've never fought a leg locker like I fought. You know what I mean? And then you just start realizing after a while, you're like, oh yeah, like I'm better than everyone else. Sorry, but it's just not. That sounds stupid, but it is. Like, everyone telling me, like, but I've been looking for, like, what's the advice? I have a lot of fucking experience. All of us, like, I start thinking about it. You know what I mean?
Well, there's always people.
We
gonna
got
be
more
quick,
experience
yeah.
than most.
There's always people quick to give you advice and stuff.
And I'm like, I'm going and working on a certain aspect, so I'll play the game, and then people shit on you like, you need to work on this. It's like, you drink Diet Cokes all day, dude. Like, don't tell me what the fuck. You know what I mean? Slap the shit out of you.
They'll never take. A lot of people won't take those type of matches too because we're definitely out of our element. Like, yeah, if it was really my element, we'd be fighting in the fucking.
Yeah.
You know.
We
You're out of your
we
element,
go out in
Donnie.
the backyard and just have it out. We'll see what's up.
Yeah,
You know what I
and
mean?
then there'll be grappling involved, but
Yeah.
there'll also be punching and kneeing, and
Elbows
kicking
and
and stuff. But
knees
then,
and
like,
chokes and-
I'm I'm here doing a points tournament where you run away from me the whole fucking time and then score 2 points.
It's
at the end
retarded.
and
I'm
stuff.
done. It's retarded. It's
But-
good for blue belts. Like, it's good for,
Yeah.
you need to get that experience.
Oh yeah,
But I'm
and
beyond it now.
the sub only tournament is fun, man. It's gonna be dope. I can't wait to have that shit. when
Jam, you
the
want to do
eyes
fight to
open
win
now.
and hop around on a stage with a lot of lights on it for $500? No, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I'm better than that shit. Sorry.
Good for you.
It's for my purple belts.
Hopefully we have I'm working on so much stuff. I have a feeling it's not gonna happen at once, but hopefully we do one thing a month. I think we should do something every other month, man. Either a finishers tournament or
Yeah, we should do.
fights
We
or-
should do all the division. We should be
Yeah.
like. It should be like gangbusters, dude.
Yeah.
It should be
Yeah.
One-stop shop. I'm down for running tournaments and helping guys out and getting guys experience, next generation. That's awesome.
Yeah. And then, trying to do the fights and stuff like that in other
Yeah.
states and countries and
Whatever, dude.
going all these places. So yeah, I'm just.
I mean,
pumped
I'm
it's
still.
gonna be
Yeah, you saw that video I shared of where like that dude in Risen. It just looked like some Yakuza guy with MMA gloves on, just going hard versus another guy.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
I could do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'll go to Japan and fight somebody.
I hope you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I'm just gonna keep. I'm just gonna keep training, like I train, like I'm, like outside of a camp. Like if I put in an 8-week fight camp, it would be like scheduled. I'd have all my shit. I would do it so professional, like now, and then but out of camp, like I'm out of camp right now. Like I hit the I'm hitting the Thai pads. I'm working my schedule up, so like I'm doing my recovery. I'm doing IVs. I'm doing cardio, I'm doing the weightlifting, I'm doing, like, I train out of camp like I'm in camp. So when I go into camp, it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm in shape right now. I can go, like, the way everything is right now, you can get a call 2 weeks, they need a guy, you know, or I need to get my, you know, for anything. Eddie could call me. I could get something in CFFC. I could do something in Florida. We could do something for ourselves. We go to Japan. I mean, anything could fucking happen.
Yeah.
You know, I got this kid coming, so I'm excited for that. I'm just training for. That's like, to me, that's like getting ready for a fight. Like waiting for this kid to be born. I'm like, just to get rid of all that energy I have, like thinking about it. I'm just like working out super. I'm ready to fight anybody right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then I'm retired, so I'm just working the manager point. I'm just gonna keep trying to get us into everything.
Or I'm just cool making money at my schools and getting Thor. You know,
you guys are in a good
but
place.
you guys are still.
I got to be ready for more than one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you guys are young.
I don't want to become too civilized too early in life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
You guys
I still
are
got.
still young.
Yeah, I'm 30. I'm 31.
That's very young.
Yeah, I feel like I'm young.
Honestly, a lot of the guys don't start surging until they're in their.
D-Rod's like 36.
Yeah.
There's guys that like, you know, they come out the gate like they're like 40 years old. They like make a UFC run. You know what I mean? They're in tip-top shape. They've been living their life their whole life.
But that's what they, Randy Couture, Captain America.
And it's almost better. Like if you're an older man in a fight, that's an advantage.
Yeah. Well,
most times.
This is exactly what Randy Couture said. Like, and it kind of, he wasn't the greatest fighter of all time, but pretty fucking tough dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Randy Couture beat some motherfuckers back in the day too.
In his
grinding
time,
dudes out. Like he big boyed, exactly what you said. Being an older guy, he just big boyed Vitor Belfort when he was a kid.
Right.
He just grabbed him and just
beat the shit out of you, dude.
Yeah. And Vitor's trying to technique him, and he's just grinding him, putting his head in his face. And he would always say, like, it's interesting for fighters, and you always see, like, why do these guys hang on so long? Like, why do they keep fighting? Sometimes it's money, yes, but also sometimes it's to the point where they're finally at the point in their career where the technique and the knowledge and the mind and the thought process and the strategy that they've been working on and honing their craft for years and years and years has finally gotten to the point where they feel comfortable. Like, I'm 37, I'm a black belt in jiu-jitsu, but right now is when I feel the most, like, comfortable. I thought I was good back then. I mean, my back's jacked up, but now I feel like, so fighters get older, they like, oh man, I got the strategy now. I finally got the strategy, but your body doesn't hold up.
Yeah.
So some guys are being smart where their like career kind of comes on later because they have the experience, but they didn't shred their body their whole entire life to where they can't do anything now. And then some guys get to the point where their chin's gone. If you still got a chin, you're older.
Yeah, or they're just their motivation to train, the hours you need to train.
Yeah.
It's just, you did it already.
Yeah.
You went from the time you were 13 to the time you're 28, and you kind of like, you're burned out by it now. You're like, I'm going to take 5 years off. Mm-hmm. And now the comeback's real hard. Where I was kind of like, I don't know, I just kind of didn't take as many fights.
Treaded water
Jiu-jitsu and shit.
Yeah, always doing stuff. I mean, look how much time did I take off in between. I hadn't fought for 10 years in between MMA fights one time. So that was like a long time. 10 years is a long time. But I was still training, kind of, but not going serious. Then maybe like 3 years of training serious, then getting back into fighting, And then how long has it been since you fought? Last MMA fight?
March. Well, I did that combat jiu-jitsu show in March.
Yeah. But like actual, like in the cage fight?
It was like 22 or 23. 7 years.
Yeah, so that's a good amount of time.
Combat jiu-jitsu is pretty close to MMA.
Yeah, that's a good amount of time, too. But, I mean... all that wealth of experience in between should lead to something, Yeah,
I just need to get my striking back together. I'd like my striking a little more polished. Just working Muay Thai. I'm gonna start working with Mike Ortiz. I have a punch shield, and I'm just gonna have him like, I'm just be looking like Canelo Alvarez, just cracking shit.
Yeah, how cool is Risen too with the ropes and stuff? I think you do really good with that.
I mean, the guys in Japan are tough as fuck.
Oh yeah,
they're straight up. Like, we rolled with that guy. That guy was a 35er. That would be who I'm fighting, pretty much. That guy was tough. I mean, I'd heel hook him easily.
Yeah,
I feel like I'd burn guys. Like, I feel like I just burn guys.
He was tough going back and forth with us. He was training. He was running with both of us. But and then when we decided to like start throwing leg locks on him, though, he was lost.
Yeah, a little lost. Yeah. So I mean, I have that. I have some tricks.
Plus, it's in the ring. It's cool. There's going to be grappling involved if you want.
Yeah.
You can force cool jiu-jitsu.
I'm down for cool shit. I'm not down for blue belt shit.
Down for cool shit, dog.
Let those guys do that.
Hell yeah.
Monday, what do we got going this week? Just whatever?
Yeah, Quentin's coming in tonight. We got let's shout out our sponsors real quick. This is a shirt from my boy Ted Park Armbar Club, but this one's actually from Jiu-Jitsu Type, so search that on Instagram. He's got a whole bunch of these up there. It's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles one. Armbar Club is actually sponsoring our podcast, and we're taking some more pics for him tonight, so bring your Armbar Club t-shirts or whatever else I gave you. So Quentin's going to do that, film some stuff at the school. Monday, when Quentin can get in, we always film some stuff, so... but shout out to Ted. He made another really cool. We already got our next two rash guards lined up. So
what time tonight?
Tonight he'll be in at, I'm not even sure.
'Cause I usually come in at 8.
7 maybe.
I'll come in a little early.
7 to. He'll be in for the later class too. I'll text him and stuff. Make sure he's still coming.
Trying to get slathered before class. You know what I mean?
You got to. And
it's a must.
What else is going on? Getting ready for ADCC this week. I'm just gonna keep putting wrestling keep working on the wrestling. Just even the guys who are not competing at ADCC, which most guys are not, but at the trials and stuff, it's just important to keep throwing it in there. We switch our gears sometimes. We're doing heavy OT backgrounds, for a while, which we're still doing that sometimes.
Anything. Well, the OT thing is getting old. It's getting real old.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone cares.
70
people care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Oh yeah, you finished in no time. You did nothing the whole time. Cool. It's not. I don't care, dude. I'm not gonna watch. But what was I saying?
We're training for ADCC, switching up gears, doing a lot of wrestling.
Dude, anything we set our mind to is possible. We've been doing martial arts so long, and between our friends and everyone else we know, and the wrestling we got in the valley, dude, like. Mm-hmm. People only known me 5 years think I can't wrestle. Like, you stupid bitch. Like, I've been wrestling my whole life. Like, I just haven't been doing it.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
what I mean? I haven't been training it. I've been doing what Eddie wants me to do, not what JM just does best, and that's what JM does. So I'm having a lot of fun. I'm learning. Like I said, I'm doing what makes me feel good.
Look, I started wrestling just a little bit. Beginning in class, dude. I took that guy down at the finisher tournament. That guy wrestled in college.
Come on, bro. We've been wrestling our whole lives.
That guy wrestled in college.
Thad said that to me, and that clicked in my head. He's like, why do you act like you don't wrestle? You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm not even that good of a wrestler. And Thad's like, you've been wrestling a long time. I'm like, oh, yeah. And, coming from Thad Frick, that kid's pretty good at wrestling.
But that's
what I'm
saying, though. It's tough, like, when I'm like, I'm not.
Well, you're trying to get your black belt under Eddie Bravo, so you're doing Eddie Bravo stuff.
Yeah, but also, too, like, look who the guys who you're comparing yourself to. I mean, Jules, Thad, those guys.
Yeah, I'm training with those guys all the time. I'm training with guys 10, 15 pounds on me.
And then we get the younger wrestling guys that don't know anything about jiu-jitsu, but they're still real good.
Trounce them.
Yeah.
Trounce everyone.
Cool. Grace, how about the one kid came in, he wrestled in high school or whatever. Grace freaking hit him with a fireman's carry.
Yeah, Grace can wrestle her ass off. You know what I mean?
She's tough to take down, dude. She's hard to take down.
Whatever we decide that we want, if I want it, I'm going to have it. Like, if I wanted to be OT beast of the world, I'd be that. But it's just lame to me. Like, I don't know. Yeah. I respect guys that are doing it. Like, I don't disrespect. No disrespect. It's just not for me.
Yeah, it's cool. We like sub only and we like fights, so that's what we're getting back into, and which is cool because we like switching up gears. I think I want to try to get someone finishers, baby.
T-shirt.
We got some finishers affiliates we're gonna be dropping. So shout out to Jeff Mock and the crew who came down, was hanging with us this weekend. So we got a bunch of guys. We're gonna we got the finishers
we're just beginning.
Going.
We're just beginning, my
friend.
I'm excited.
We're looking at a spot in Quakertown. We're doing all types of stuff. So I got a busy week. Got phone calls to make. Also, shout out to Rubber Guard Assassins. I know you brought them up. So, we are one and the same. We believe the same philosophy. And Rubber Guard Assassins constantly posting up conspiracy shit. So if you want to go even deeper down the rabbit hole, then I'm giving to you. I'm just giving you the opposite of what the media is giving you.
I mean, if you don't know by now, dude,
you can go on Rubber Guard Assassins. You can see what's going on in other countries and see how they're
start doing some
too,
push-ups.
So, yeah, it's not us.
Stop whacking off on the internet. Figure it out.
Sbrocchi jewelry design came on as well.
Nice.
Sbrocchi.
Yeah.
Sbrocchi. Really cool. Yeah, he's got custom-made jewelry and a master CAD designer.
Nice, yeah.
He's out of Philly, but he might be coming up this way. But
if anyone's looking for rings, he's gonna, like I said, he's gonna design a bracelet. So once you get your black belt at 10th Planet Bethlehem, there's a bracelet you can go on and buy. You just go on and buy. We're not gonna stock like 10 fucking bracelets, but we're gonna have like one. You can go on and order it, and then you get it if you want it. So that's pretty cool. Just like when you graduate, if you want the fucking thing, you can order it. Also, BJJ Fanatics, shout out to them. Like, we're gonna go down there and do another video. But they have a big Labor Day sale going on. Just check my Instagram and shit. We got videos out there. We got DVDs out the anus. Thor just put his 2 weeks notice in, so that's really dope.
That's big time.
Yeah.
Serious.
Yeah, so now we'll be able
Finishers
to have,
Enterprise just acquired a
meetings.
huge acquisition.
Having
from
another
PPO.
guy off all day like that.
Oh my God,
When
it'll
you
be-
get another guy off the grid.
When you're trying to do both like that,
Huge.
especially the stuff
Huge.
he's trying to do, it's not like he's,
Huge.
that's so hard to, and
I can't
that was
wait.
a serious full-time job.
Yeah, he's gonna
Wasn't
he's
some
gonna be
bullshit.
like running morning sessions and shit. I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, I gotta go practice with Thor.
Yeah, now
I'm
what I
happy
mean?
for him. It'll grow even more.
Exactly. And we're trying to do more business with him. So we got Miami running. Shout out to Tim P. Newton.
Henderson, North Carolina.
Yeah, Chris Hendricks. Shout out to the Black Ninja. Just moved down to Henderson, North Carolina, running shop down there. So Woodbridge is no more. There is only one New Jersey.
Highlander.
Yeah. Jiu-Jitsu school, 10 Planet Newton. I'm actually going to be teaching a seminar there September 24th. And then JM, you're going to be there after me. So I told him we'll come down one at a time so that way we don't have to have a million coverage at the
That's cool.
school. So, yeah, and like I said, Finishers affiliates coming soon. New gear dropping, you know what I mean? New ass dropping, you know what I mean? New balls dropping, all that
Drop
stuff.
10 balls.
Yep. So any other sponsors? We talked about everybody, right?
Sbrocchi, armbar,
Oh yeah, and if you
rubber guard.
shout out to Preet, the most famous blue belt in the world. He's filming a lot of stuff for us. FinishersMMA.tv, back behind a paywall. So get your money out, cocksuckers. We gave it to you for free during this whole bullshit pandemic, and I appreciate everybody
Seriously.
Yeah.
who kept their subscription going on that because it's like $6 a month. But we're putting up our full classes. Preet's got a GoPro or whatever it is, so he's filming stuff for us. We're gonna put it up on YouTube. One portion of it for free, and then the rest you can go on and support your boys. If you got some job or you're just staying home doing nothing, and they're paying you extra to stay home and whack off, like throw some cash towards our way, bro,
Yeah.
so we can keep expanding the Finishers Enterprise.
Put out a lot of free content.
Yeah, and we're gonna keep doing it. You know what I mean? But we're also gonna keep charging you. You
Yeah.
know, because that's how we make these things go. Like Alex Jones said. You know what I mean?
I gotta feed my kids.
Yeah, that's how we keep the resistance alive. So thank you guys all for listening. Really appreciate it. Mike, anything else?
If anyone's interested in sponsoring the show, just contact me. I can set it up. It's really easy to do. It's a flat fee, and I can give you more information. Anything I'm doing is on neveragainstudio.com. That's the chef knife I'm working with, Luke Delmeyer. We're going to shoot a commercial maybe starting this week.
Nice.
Over at the farm, and then he is going to be behind the new working class shirt. So it's going to have 2 knives on it, and then we're going to be doing the shirt and the knife. So we're going to do like a pre-order on the knife.
Nice. And if you're looking for new gear to get gear made and shit, talk to Mike.
Yeah,
He'll
thank
hook
you. I
up
always
with
forget to plug
Axelrad.
that.
Yeah.
Especially with fall coming. A lot of
Yeah,
sweatshirt
like-
shit. People are hitting me up already.
T-shirts are like, we got another grip of the gray 10 Planet Bethlehem
Yep,
shirts
those are
in
coming.
just to give out, just because,
We need
should have
shit.
that
If we have it, it sells.
Yeah. And then people rock that stuff, and then that's like one of the main,
Sweatshirts.
yeah.
That's the big thing.
Yeah, sweatshirts, all that shit. So, JM, anything?
Nah.
Yeah, come
Next
through
time
the
we do this podcast, my son will be born. So
Oh, next week will be off. I'm on vacation.
Yeah, yeah.
My
so-
vacation got fucked last year, and I think we missed the storm because it was this weekend. So I think we're good to go.
Nice.
Beach mushrooms.
Yeah, well,
let's go.
congrats on vacation.
I'm
Kid
so
coming
excited.
soon. That's gonna be dope, man. We got a lot of stuff popping
opening
at the
schools,
school.
we gotta
yeah.
spread out, dude.
Yeah, so
Spread my butt
yeah,
cheeks
and
show y'all what's
Bethlehem
good.
and Allentown. Now that Thor's off, Bethlehem and Allentown, they're both almost full, man. We're only getting 100 people in Allentown. We're only going to like 185 over at our school, and we only got like 10, 15 more people or whatever, and that's it. So like, if you were like, oh man, I'm gonna jump in now, like we'll always bring people back. Like if you were training before, you'll always be allowed to come back. You could always be a member if you like moved to fucking whatever and had to come back or whatever, happened. But
Clean that buttocks and get back to training.
yeah, come back. So, but if you're looking, finishesmma.com. If you're not, I don't like you. Go fuck yourself. Just kidding. I love you guys. Boa caralho.
Puss.